We found out yesterday that today's guest is a true darling. She's also a dating coach. Catch part 2 coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Johnny Rockets at Broadway at the Beach. We're focused on dating and relationships, part 2. And we're visiting with Candace McKenzie, a dating relationship coach. Good morning again. Candace, back-to-back days at Johnny Rockets. This place is the bomb.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks for letting us in. You and your family and the other folks here, you got a tremendous group. And, of course, on an early morning, 7 a.m. on a Thursday, to see the crowd. A couple of folks that opened the doors was kind of them to let some other folks in while we're here.
We're happy to have you. Thank you again for coming.
Yeah, what set the stage for you to become a dating and relationship coach, Candace?
Lots of life experience, I'd like to say. I like to affectionately tell people that after I left Myrtle Beach, kissed a lot of frogs, a lot of frogs. Then I decided to go to California. And I graduated from the University of Southern California Meat Market, and I got degrees in If You Are a Loser, Please Come Date Me Now.
Oh, yeah.
Took a lot of classes on that one. But he's perfect on paper. Why won't this work?
Right.
Basically, I've just been through it all. And it wasn't something, as we were discussing before, it wasn't a childhood dream of mine to wake up one day and be a relationship coach. It's something that just magically happened. It was something sitting around with girlfriends, going out, having drinks, opening up about, my experiences. Some of my friends are going through divorces. Well, let's talk to Candace. She's still single. She can tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, well, people are really getting something out of what I'm telling them. And for some reason, I have a knack at this. So I wrote a book. And I didn't consider myself a writer. I just started writing down what I heard, my experiences, my friends' experiences. I got a wonderful editor. Then I said, well, I'm just going to take this a step further, and I'm going to do radio and maybe do some local television and do a blogger and have an advice website and lecture. And so here I am. It just all happened.
That's opened Candace up to the world.
It's opened the world.
Not just your friends who were getting divorces or having a tough time or needed some advice. It's really opened you up to the world.
It's really opened me up to the world, and not just for women, because originally that was the market I was going for. It was for single women, something like leaving from the Sex and the City. When I have a wonderful publicist, so when I started doing national radio and doing television and had the blogger up, all of a sudden I got male clients. Yeah. And then I got older clients and even young adult clients. And I thought, well, there's really a market for this just beyond for women. Right. I'm going to write a book for guys. Be a Dating Dude is my second book.
Be a Dating Dude. I wonder what that, I'm going to grab the cover of your book. I'm trying to think, I wonder what the cover's going to look like for Be a Dating Dude. You'll have a nice looking guy in the middle like you.
Exactly.
Who will the 2 women be on the
Maybe somebody from Carolina People could be the leading model.
Donald? Yeah. No.
Oh.
Listen up. That's a great way to sell some
we could have like a little John Travolta look-alike kind of thing, a little dance floor, take a little twirl.
That's going to go, you're going far enough with that, young lady. You're going far enough with that. This is the book cover, of course. I saw it back in September. You were kind enough to send a copy out. I guess your publicist is really covering you all over the country and making sure this is spread out everywhere.
I made sure to tell him I really want to do something here in Myrtle Beach. I've done lots of stuff, in Los Angeles. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up. This is where my family is, the community that I love and adore. So of course I want to do as much as I can here, book signing events and help out as much as I possibly can. So I appreciate you guys having me here.
No, I was just so thrilled. Betty Moses, who does My Senior Moment, our senior columnist, has been our longtime copy editor, did a great book review on Be a Dating Dahling.
And she really sparked my interest. I am going to get Miss Betty Moses to write my third book, Senior.
Come on.
Yes, I'm just definitely, we were talking about this, I'm like, I need Betty Moses to help me write my third novel, Senior and Sexy. Yeah. Because again, age is not defined if you can find true love. I think there's something so wonderful and bittersweet, at a later stage in your life because you're so ready, you know who you are, you're not going to change, you're not going to sacrifice things. And Betty is so funny and lovely and down to earth, and her column is wonderful. So I am definitely looking forward to writing that third book with her. So.
Absolutely. She is thrilled about that as as well, Candace. She's been talking about, I heard her talking about it at the Heart Ball this weekend. Of course, some of the other great pieces, Weekly Surge, the Sun News, or the McClatchy piece out here, the weekly piece that's covered. Ken Kimes did some tremendous interview questions with you. I was very impressed.
Now, Ken actually found me through my brother, Brian McKenzie. My brother's a musician here in town. He has a recording studio. He's considered a musical engineer. But he also has Solace, which is a pretty well-known local band here. And so I guess he's done some coverage on him and found out that I was a sister and a dating relationship coach. And Valentine's Day episode was coming out. So there you go. So perfect, yeah.
Hate to keep reaching over, but there are a couple other great magazines. Complete Woman had a big piece on you. I don't know if folks can see that. The light is fantastic here early on a Thursday morning. Also, the Learning Annex was a great spread. And what is the Learning Annex?
Donald Trump is probably the most noteworthy speaker there. It's mostly West Coast bound. They do have them in Atlanta, I believe, and in New York. They're really investment courses, not just financial investment, but also about emotional investment. So that's where I come in. I teach a class on dating, how to get rid of your fears, the best way to pick up somebody, the best way to break up with someone. Obviously, there's all different types of self-help classes, but pretty much that's where most people find me or have heard from me is at the Learning Annex.
Sure. Those you just asked some of the questions yourself. We've got to hear it. What is the best way, if there is such a thing, to break up with somebody, Candace?
There is a proper way to break up with somebody. I like to affectionately say now it's a couple of days after Valentine's. Perhaps you got lost in love and, got carried away in the moment, and now you've got a Valentine's vampire.
Oh, no. There is a thing.
There's such a thing.
There is.
And you can't get rid of this person, and you don't know what to do. The first thing I like to tell people is don't assume anything. Don't assume that not returning their phone calls they'll get that you don't want to see them again. It's a very rude thing to do. Be upfront with them. Tell them face-to-face if you can. Listen, I really had a great time. I just don't feel that certain connection. I don't think that there's anything that's going to make us really gel together. But thank you. I had a wonderful time. Be very clear. After you're very clear, if they don't get that and they're continuing to pester you, God forbid they come to visit you at work, maybe send you harassing emails, that's when you take it to the next level. The next level is calling them or sending them an email and telling them, I'm considering this harassment. Again, I wish you well, but I do not care for us to see each other anymore. But thank you. Again, I wish you well. I'm trying to say this because you're being professional and being very nice.
Sure.
If it takes a level after that and they continue to do that, then please print out all the emails that they have given to you, especially if they're harassing. Please take any phone calls. And please get yourself down to the police station and make out a report. A report can be filed so that, God forbid, if something does happen, you have something that will hold up in court. Again, I'm going to extremes. I'm not trying to scare anybody away, but I'm saying please be prepared. And all you have to say is if they've gone to a certain level and a point after you have called them, all you have to do is send them an email or call them and say, I have contacted the police. This is considered harassment, and I have filed a report. 99.9% time, that will just scare the person away. That'll scare them away.
Sure. And of course, oftentimes that happens in short-term relationships. We think about the real fear associated with a long-term relationship where it's so easy to fall back in the trap of every once in a while getting back together. In a big town like L.A., or a big city like L.A., maybe not, but in small communities like the Florence area or Lumberton and Laurinburg within our viewing area, right here in Myrtle Beach, it's probably pretty difficult.
It is.
Getting out of a long-term relationship.
Yeah, we like to say affectionately Los Angeles has the 6 degrees of separation. To Kevin Bacon, they always add that in. And here in Myrtle Beach, it's definitely the 2% degree of separation. Just because it is such a small town, and God forbid, it just happens. You tend to run into an ex, or somebody's heard of you. So what you do here is be smart about it. Obviously, if you're going to do what I suggest, doing the speed dating and seeing a lot of different people, Monday through Thursday, everybody, best to do that for a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. Be smart about it. Don't go to the same places all the time. Choose maybe Myrtle's Inlet, and then maybe choose Myrtle Beach, and then go to North Myrtle Beach. Try to switch the places up. If it does happen, then acknowledge the person, walk up to them, say hello. Don't try to hide from them. That's just being rude. Say hi. This is my friend. Introduce the person to the other person that you're dating. People should realize it is a numbers game. person that you are going to see other people until you're ready to settle down to get serious. By that I mean you definitely want to see different people for at least 3 months. That's a really tough thing for a lot of people.
3 months.
3 months, and I can see your face. 3 months.
Wow.
Why I'm saying 3 months is really, what do you know about a person? Think about it. Truly, truly, truly. Not only beyond those 6 questions, spending time with people, getting to know them. I'm trying to make people slow down and take the time, see other people. You don't want to see the same person more than twice or 3 times a week. It's just too much. Take your time, get to cultivate the relationship, see other people, and then at 3 months, that's when you say, I would like to ask for us to be exclusive.
Right. So again, over the course of the first 3 months, not to see each other more than 2 or 3 times a week.
It's tough for people.
And the encouragement is to possibly go out with other folks on the other nights?
Absolutely. Because if it doesn't work out with that one person, you have those other opportunities to fall back on.
Right. Now,
and also, too, when you go with other people, your heart doesn't get attached right away to somebody. You know what I'm talking about. The fact that you're not constantly waiting by the phone for that person to call and being desperate. You're being active, you're being busy, you're going out with other people.
Should she understand it? If I'm going out with other folks during the week, she should be okay even as we're trying to grow stronger and determine if we're right for each other. Should she be okay with the idea that I'm possibly seeing someone else trying to do the same thing?
As long as you're honest with her and tell her up front, then she should be okay with it. If you're not, again, don't make any assumptions. Lay it on the line. Tell it like it is. Say, I care enough about you and us, for both of us, not just me. That makes it for both of you, to go out and see other people, to make sure that we are strong enough to make this work for at least 3 months. Now, I'm not talking about having sexual relationships. I'm talking about just cultivating intimate, mental relationships. Obviously, chemistry has to be there as well, too. If that person is not okay with that, then they're too immature for you to go out with, and you need to go on to somebody else.
Good for you, Candace. Those are great words. And we're talking about, you were stressing Monday through Thursday.
Yes.
There must be some taboo about the weekend.
It's not so much I make it taboo, but especially if you don't know the person, you've never met them before, maybe you met them through online dating or it's a blind date, then you definitely want to have what I like to call a chemistry date to make sure that there's some magnetism there. Right. So to be on the safe side, and also to help with men and their bank accounts, because one of the biggest complaints I hear from men is, I can't afford to date.
Yeah.
And then I like to pose, where are you taking them out and what type of women are you going out with?
Yeah.
You should only do Monday through Thursday if you're meeting a person for the very first time. Cup of coffee, glass of wine, that is it. 45 minutes tops. That way you can just kind of talk and see if there's a little magnetism.
Yeah.
Then you take it to the next level. Then you can do dinner, bowling, playing pool, something active. Yeah. You don't want to go on a beach, go take a nice long stroll on a beach for a first sailing, hiking. Don't get in a car with a person for a first couple of days. You just want to be smart about things. Watch Unsolved Mysteries. Hello. Is that not enough to scare you away? Or Fatal Attraction, please,